Hi, good day, Tony. I think it's easy if I just make a little 5-10 minute video to just introduce you to Notesmaster, the different areas, how it works. This is the current version of Notesmaster, Notesmaster.com, and this is behind a login. There's a new version available later this year, which is not behind a login. It'll look something similar to the Aptus version that we're installing for Ricky. This version you would then log in currently on live, go to Notesmaster.com. T321 is an example of a teacher that I use for the Trinidad and Tobago workshop. The new version, students will not need to have an email to log in. So teachers will be able to register their students when they log in. So this is the workspace. Every user has a workspace. It's their personal space. It's where they create the content before sharing it with the group. Okay, so this particular user, a Trinidad and Tobago teacher, would create content privately if they were part of the program and share it with the Trinidad and Tobago group. So if I click on group, you'll see that there is a group, MOE-OER-TET group, and all of the content will reside in this group. So I can be a member of this group, and this is where the Trinidad and Tobago program takes place. 42 members, created 135 resources so far. We have comments, support, video tutorials in the various groups for the participants, and some of them have even left tutorials for each other on how to access and work different features of the platform. I can, if I wish, when I go back to groups, and if I'm allowed, join other groups. So this is the Belize group, MOE, as we did, Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture. This is their Aptus group. And it is slightly different in terms of numbers, 2,300 resources. The members are here and the content is here. Okay? So let me show you how the process works. Let's say I go back to the group from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a member of this group, or when the program is ready, I will register on the platform and join this group. Okay, it'll be open to everyone. In my syllabus area here, our syllabus is for various different subjects. So visual and performing arts. If I click on it, we'll see that I can do a few things. There's one resource here which I might have created from the workshop. If I want to create a resource, so the teachers will click through the syllabus that's provided by the ministry, click through form, topics and the learning objectives, and they will click to add new content. They can create a note or create a quiz. This is just a brief introduction, so we'll create a quick note, or I'll show you the process, and let's just call it dance. Visual and performing arts, I think, we'll just call it dance. So here I get an editor, and in this editor, similar to Microsoft Word, so it's familiar to them, they can add YouTube videos, insert files and images from the file manager. So they will find Creative Commons videos and images, upload them to their file manager. We show them how to find Creative Commons YouTube videos, so they can only insert Creative Commons YouTube videos. And they can embed features, Prezi, SlideShare, Pixton, H5P, all those kind of things. And then we have equation editors. So if they're doing maths, for example, they can click on the equation editor and insert different equations into their work. Add tables, and so on and so on and so on. If they're really complicated, they can add source code. But basically, we give them a template. And the template is designed to give a standardized approach to all the content. General OER template, so we push the OER, insist on that. Malawi OER, Mozambique OER. TNT have their own template, which we're working with now, and then there's an Aptus template. So for example, if I click an Aptus template, click on it, OK. You have your title space, an introduction, explanation, image, you can add a video, practical activity. The online template would have a prompt for a Prezi or a SlideShare, and if you don't use a section, you're welcome to click on it, right click, and you can delete it. So the template you can jig about with. Once you've created your note, you click Save, and your note, if I close it for you, resides here in your workspace. So this is Visual Arts, Trinidad Teacher, that's me here, and I have this note. You see, it's personal. It's a personal note. If I want to share it now, so let's say I've created this content, I'm very happy, very excited about it. I click Edit and I click Share. I can share it with the Ministry of Education group Trinidad and Tobago. So I can click Group Share. So this shares my private dance note, personal note, to the Ministry of Education group. So the writers will create in private, and when they're happy, they will share it. At the end of each week, we will track how much content they've shared, and we'll see our private here changes now to shared. So when they look through the syllabus, they see, shared content. We would then look through this note and say, right, okay, well, your image is missing and this needs to be added. And that sometimes happens until they get into the flow of creating content. So they are using this Notesmaster editor page here as a blank canvas for assembling content. They can create their own content. If they have a very favorite website that they like to use that's Creative Commons, they can add the images from there or the videos from there. If it is an online program, then obviously they can insert links here and all sorts. So it's about creating quite a lot on one page. Now, from the program's perspective, I will register as a teacher. Let's say I'm a visual and performing arts teacher. When the program's content is available, I would go to the group. The group would be open to everybody. I would click on the group and I would look for shared resources here. I would look for the visual and performing arts, click open the syllabus, and I would look for content. So visual and performing arts, we can see here, the note I shared dance is with the group. But there's other content that has been created through our workshop. Finding Your Space, San Fernando East from Ansel. If I click on this note, let's see what it looks like. Okay, so this is from our workshop last week. Ansel is obviously pretty capable. He's got his text in and he's added some images and some more images and a video that I can play. So this video would be Creative Commons and we would then be able to upload it to Notesmaster servers so that it can play on the Aptus. So obviously there's no external link, but for an online program, he would just click play and it would play from YouTube. So then more information, and then look, he's got a little animation. So this is really pretty good. This is a good note. The guy's done a good job. It makes it, it's engaging, it's colorful. Good job. If now, at the end of the program, I like Ansel's note, I click Add to Workspace. So I'm now adding a copy of Ansel's note from the group, okay, I'm in the group, to my private workspace. So learners will come to the group, find the content they want, and populate their own syllabuses with the content. So it could be more than one content from Ansel, or it could be from different teachers. So to highlight, I go back to Workspace and I look in my syllabus and I should see now 2. Visual arts. So there's the dance note I created here for reference. And then below that, elements of art design is the note from Ansel. So I click on Ansel's note and I can use Ansel's note if I like it. It should load and open up for me here. Now, let's say I like it, but I think maybe I'd like to change something of it. If I click copy, so teachers will have this foundation set of content rolled out by all teachers in Malawi, Mozambique, Belize, Vanuatu, Trinidad, and Zambia, and then they have the tools, click copy to enhance it. The page reloads, and I now have Ansel's note. But let's say I completely dislike this table. Click it, delete. I've removed that table, or let's say I would prefer my text to be black. I can do that. So I can play around with it, click save, and I have edited a copy of the foundation set. It doesn't change Ansel's copy, I've made my own copy. So if I close this note now, you'll see my syllabus will update, and you'll see Find Your Space, Trinidad teacher, that's me, for reference up here, Trinidad teacher, and Ansel has his copy. So the program is allowing you to create your own content or a derivative of it based on the foundation set that's been produced. So that's the basic mechanics of it. The resources area, at the end of the program, the content will be available in the groups area for these private groups, but it will be more widely available in the resources area. So a Caribbean student, would come to the resources area and he or she would see syllabuses from the Caribbean. Now, there's a lot of data in pulling all of this content together. So part of the rebuild of this Notesmaster platform is to streamline and simplify the movement of data around the platform. So the TTSC, the Visual and Performing Arts, all of that content will be available here. So students will come, they will not have to go to the group. You see there's zeros here showing there's no content available publicly yet. So once the program is finished, the content will be in the group for a community, but it'll also be available in the resources area for people to add to their workspace, and then can create virtual classes for their students where they use the content that's created, or as just shown, they can enhance it or copy it or make a derivative of it. In answer to your question now, this is the Caribbean. Let's say I wanted to have a look at what's available in Zambia. I would select this drop-down menu, I would select Zambia, and I now have the Zambian content that I can look at. Equally, I can do the same for Mozambique. When their content is fully published, I can do the same for Malawi when their content is fully published. So for example, if I click Namibia, we have a program in Namibia with NAMCOL, and I decide I want to look at accounting, JC, Junior Secondary Accounting, I click on that, and I see that they've got content published here. I can click on it, click through it, click here. The transactions, let's look at this one, and I see a note, whoops, transactions by this teacher from Windhoek. What is a transaction? She's used a cartoon program that we've introduced to the teachers in Trinidad. Click on it, and just brings a little bit of graphic, another way of representing the content, and scroll through, I have this note. If I like this note, again I can add to Workspace, or I can click copy, and I now have a copy of this note that I can edit from a teacher in Namibia that I've never seen, never met, and I can make a derivative of it for maybe my business studies syllabus or course outline. So that is a brief Notesmaster 101. We keep it simple with these areas. There is a work live area due to come, which will allow for video conferencing. So if I want to create a virtual class, and if I click on a class here, I don't have any created, but I can create a class, add my students and track their progress, their grades, etc. I could then have a live lesson, a virtual lesson with my students. So these are some of the tools that surround the content. So it's not just the content, it's a freely accessible platform that they can use to school the students, track performance, etc. The last thing to then just briefly mention is if I want to, in the groups area, I can also find a group if I want to, just the same. Notesmaster have programs with the Ministry of Education in different countries, Jamaica, CXC, etc. But I can also, if I want to, swap the groups and see the groups I have in Zambia. So I can, if I click on that properly, I can click on the Zambian group, and if I want to, I can join. If it gives me permission, I can join the Ministry of Education, agree and join, and I'll be in their group. Okay? So that is a brief explanation of how you can navigate your way around the different programs, and that's what we mean about connecting everyone and connecting things in quite a simple but exciting way. The open version, if I just click my tab here, I would just come. So this is an example of how it looks on the Aptus. Already registered, you can log in. Need access, you can sign up. Need instant access, just click guest access. And it takes you straight in, and you have Ministry of Education, and you can go straight into the shared resources and look at the group and the content in Mozambique here. And it operates slightly differently. You'll notice it's a lot faster in how it operates and works. click on something, and it opens pretty fast for you. Okay, so this is an example of some of the history content in Mozambique. So I hope this is okay. 1,803 resources is what they've produced. We'll evolve and perfect this over time. Developing an Aptus version was tricky, ask Ricky, but we're getting there, and it should generally be fine. Okay, any questions? Sorry for this long video, but I think this gives you a basic understanding of the nature of the two programs and platforms. Okay, thanks.